What makes the 1961 film The Innocents a masterpiece of horror cinematography, and it's not just one iconic shot. Cinematographer Freddie Francis turns character positioning, lighting, and architecture into storytelling tools. Every choice of foreground and background, every doorway, staircase, and window shapes the audience experience, building tension and unease without a single jump scare. The way the characters occupy space, the way light falls across their faces, and the way the architecture frames them all work together to create psychological horror that still works today. Deborah Kerr stands in the foreground, tense and alert, while a mysterious figure lingers in the background, framed by ornate window ironwork. Francis uses extreme deep focus, forcing the audience to scan the frame for potential threats. This careful composition makes the audience feel like they're participating in the scene, searching for danger alongside the characters.
Throughout the film, Francis shifts who dominates the frame. At times, the maid is in the foreground, sharp and in control, while Kerr resides in the background. And there's a certain scene where the maid is in the foreground and Kerr is in the background, and Kerr moves forward, asserting power. So then Kerr is in the front, and now the maid is in the back. These subtle shifts communicate power dynamics and psychological tension without needing any dialogue, and showing that positioning alone can tell a story. Modern films often borrow this technique without realising where the roots come from.
Final Destination 2 uses foreground and background placement to heighten the suspense, with danger always lurking somewhere, keeping viewers tense. Francis's mastery of deep focus is another defining feature, shooting with small apertures and careful lighting. He keeps foreground and background equally sharp. This allows multiple layers of action to coexist in a single frame, making the viewer aware of immediate activity and lurking threats. The audience become an active participant, scanning for meaning and danger simultaneously. Modern cinematographers continue to adapt this approach because revealing everything in the frame is far more unsettling than hiding it. The Innocents proves that cinematography can tell stories as effectively as dialogue. Every frame, every doorway, every shift between foreground and background shapes tension and emotion, and its influence can be seen in films and series across decades. One of the most unsettling moments in The Innocents is when the little girl dominates the foreground. Extreme close-ups, while Kerr sleeps blurred in the background. Francis breaks out his usual deep focus style here. Doorways, staircases, and gates frame characters like cages, reflecting mental and emotional states. Kerr is often positioned in these architectural elements, visible yet constrained, showing her vulnerability and isolation. Modern horror and thriller films continue to use these principles. For example, Get Out framed characters through windows and doorways to emphasize entrapment. The Haunting of Hill House frequently positions characters in architectural frames to reflect fear, vulnerability, and tension. Francis avoids exaggerating artificial lighting, letting the natural environment create tension instead. This approach is echoed in The Conjuring and The Witch, where naturalistic lighting grounds the supernatural in reality, making it more frightening because it feels possible. And if you find this video interesting, there's more to explore. Dive into my cinematography breakdowns here and see how cinematographers shape every frame, and check out my Strange series here for an in-depth look on visual storytelling in television, or explore some of my photography content to see how framing, lighting, and positioning translate into still images.